Hey guys, it's Ray Ellie with Writer Ray. I am coming to you to talk about the four most utilized ways of soliciting for goods and services that the state of Georgia normally utilizes. Now, the last one I'm going to give you, I talk about that a lot, and I don't think a lot of people really understand what it is, but that's going to be the one that you're going to really want to utilize your social engineering, or SE, as I like to call it, and that's when you make nice with the contracting officers, make nice with the project managers, make sure they know you, make sure they know what goods and services that you actually offer that will be beneficial for the entities that they represent. So I'm just going to go ahead and delve right on into this. It's going to be a quick video. It's going to be quick and dirty, but it's going to give you some good, great information that you can go and utilize and implement into your businesses that you already have established. Or if you do not have business established, of course, you can come see me and I can help you implement these things and set you up on the systems and everything and get you going. So the first one I'm going to go over is the RFQ, request for quotation. All right, what an RFQ is basically the entity, whether it's local government, state, whatever, but we do in the state of Georgia today. That's when the state of Georgia, for instance, has clear and accurate specifications and a solution that they want implemented. So basically all they need is for a contractor to implement and adhere to those specifications to implement that solution for them. All right. And what they're going to be looking for, how you get the award, is you need to be the lowest bidder, but not just the lowest bidder. You need to be the lowest and responsible and responsive bidder. All right. Now, I'm going to give you an example of responsive. You need to submit all the documents that they request, and they need to be fully completed. All right. It can't be halfway done. You're not the most responsive bidder. Responsive bidder. That's going to also lend to your responsibility too, because you can't follow basic instructions and be responsible enough to submit the documents or responsive enough. But another perfect example for responsible enough is if you've had a cure notice issued or you've had your performance or payment bond pulled before in the past. They're going to see that. They're going to know that. They're going to find out about that. Okay. So you are not responsible if you have not fulfilled a contract in its prescribed amount of time. You're not the most responsible bidder. All right. And if they find out about that. So that's what that means. The second identification for a state entity to secure goods and services from a contractor would be an RFP, request for proposal. That is when the state entity kind of knows the end result that they're trying to achieve, but they're going to allow you as the contractor to develop the specifications and the solution to reach their end result. Okay, so those are the differences between the RFQ and the RFP. The RFQ, the state knows what they want and how they want to implement it, and they know the specifications. They just need you to come in as the lowest responsible and responsive bidder. The RFP, they got an end result they want to achieve. They don't know how to really achieve it. They don't know what specifications need to go into it, because you, as the contractor, are the expert in that, all right? So you need to submit a complete proposal to the entity. And then they will evaluate it based on technical factors, feasibility, and a review board, or a few people basically from engineering, maintenance, or the contracting officers are going to sit around and they're going to discuss it and go over it. And that's how they will select a bidder that they choose on that proposal. Okay. The third way is for RFQC. All right. And that is request for qualified contractors. Now, all that is a pre-qualification list. You're not going to get an award off of this. They may do an RFQC for, perfect example, A&E firms, right? Architect and engineering firms. For us in the construction field to have a list of pre-qualified contractors that you're going to go to. So when you do put a solicitation out, you've been pre-qualified that you can supply this and that you can fulfill this contract and service us. That what will happen is only those bidders, if they pick 10 to 12 or 15, only those bidders will be invited to bid on the solicitation, if in fact they actually put one out that is tailored to the RFQC that they selected these specific contractors for. And you will be evaluated based off your statement of qualifications. That's kind of what as a contractor, when I was a government contractor and when I was a senior contracting official, those are the things that we evaluated based on the RFQC that was put out. And statement of qualifications goes over your past performance. It goes over some financials. It goes over the education experience of the owners and the actual implementation team, and who we as a state entity or as a prime contractor, if I'm actually a contractor and I'm doing this for subs, or if I am the prime contractor and I'm submitting something for the state entity, what you do is you will submit a statement of qualifications, and that is pretty thorough. You constantly, it's a document, it's a work in progress. You constantly update it as you complete projects, as different things happen. If your team and staff changes, those are things that you need to focus on. So I suggest every company and entity that wants to do business with the government, have your statement of qualifications on deck. Start creating that, start putting that in place so that you'll have it and it's ready for you to submit when you're not trying to always play catch up. Be proactive, not reactive. And the fourth and final one that I love, okay, in the state of Georgia, specifically, so I'm going to give their dollar amount threshold, is the open market purchase. All right, there is something called the order of precedence. So this is on tier 4 for not, when you're talking about business credit. All right, this is tier 4 for the order of precedence, when how a state of Georgia and a state entity that goes under and solicits on the Team Georgia Marketplace, which is how Department of Administration Services, who administers this for the state of Georgia, it's called Team Georgia Marketplace. This is how they solicit on Team Georgia Marketplace. However, the open market purchases do not have to be competitively bid. Here's where your social engineering skills come into play. Here's where your skills come into play, where you've gone to pre-bids and you've made alliances, or you have got your name out there. They're constantly seeing you, project managers and contracting officers in your area of expertise as a contractor, and they decide one day to pull your business card out. They have a project that is under $25,000. All right, if they deem, the project manager and the contracting officer deem that the project would be under $25,000, you will be issued a purchase order. There is no competitively bidding process that needs to occur. It is not required at that level. Okay, so that is $25,000. So let's say you can do it for 22 and they contact you. All right, there's no competitively bidding process. It doesn't have to be competitively bid. So therefore, you got a project for $22,000. You may make $8,000 in profit off one project. If you're a small guy, you starting out, that's pretty good. If you can implement and do something like that, because everything is not going to be that complex. You're not going to need a whole set of plans. That's not how that's going to work. That's not what that is. All right. So this is very beneficial. I've done several of those over the years, like a lot. I can't even count. But, they're purchase orders that we issue to you. And like I said, that's when that networking comes into play. You need to know these contracting officers that are in the industry and with these state entities, and it works at the city level too. They still have the same process. This is a well-known contracting process for people that are in that arena, that do a lot of government contracting, or that were former contracting officials like myself. And I've been on both sides of the fence. So I know this inside and out. And I try to get my clients to understand the significance of that. Some people don't like to talk, they like to send emails, they like to pick up the phone. No, you need to be going to pre-bids. You need to be going to information sessions. You need to be meeting the powers that be, because those are the people that when they decide, or the higher ups say, hey, let's spread the love. I see a lot of the same contractors doing the same work, especially in the open market purchases with those purchase orders, right? That they're going to sign off on. You and your business card will be one that they will select, right? Because they're going to go through that little Rolodex or that drawer where they shove everybody's business cards in. They don't just throw them away, because it helps them. If you perform well, all right, and your subcontractors are happy, that helps us look good as contracting officials. That helps us look good as staff that work for these entities. And you want that. You want to have that rapport, because that is a residual stream of income that can constantly keep coming in, no matter what, because they know you're going to make sure that everything is buttoned up and tight. And that's ultimately what a project manager and a contracting officer want to do. They do not want to be on site issuing out cure notices, constantly emailing you when you need to update them. Your schedule of values isn't in. Your project schedule is behind. Nobody wants to deal with all that. Make life easier, and they'll make it easier for you. And you can thrive. Your company can grow exponentially by utilizing these avenues that I've just described. with the RFQC, making sure your statement of qualifications is on deck and tight, because that's what you're going to be reviewed by and possibly making the short list. But if you really want to make some quick money and getting into contracting and you're starting out, you need to make the previous, like I said, you need to get your name out there, make those information sessions when they have it. Minority certification definitely helps, because as a contracting officer, and I worked on the ARRA, which is the American Reinvestment and Recovery Act, when President Obama implemented that in 2008 for the Department of Defense, when I was working there as a senior contracting official. When I tell you that stuff was so transparent, and I reported the metrics all the way up to DC. I was the single point of contact for the construction and facilities management office there. And we had to be tight. We had to make sure we issued contracts to these minorities. That's no joke. So it is crazy, because a lot of them did not go after the construction stuff because of the 2008 act of that the state of Georgia implemented, that they had to have a GC license. On top of that, in the beginning, they had to show $250,000 worth of net worth. A lot of those guys, those minority contractors, did not have that. So it was hard. You know, we were trying to gain the interest, trying to get people to bid in the minority realm. This is big. Yeah, you don't have to have a minority certification to win a contract in any area of the government. But when I tell you it opens up so much access, when I tell you that there is so many agencies that want you to bid, but they can't just be discriminatory to other races or that are not considered minority. They can't just all out say, we want to just give this to you. You have to be vigilant and care as much about your own company to want to grow it also. That's the crazy part. Hey, Gloria. Good morning. Hey, Desmond Claiborne. Hey, Carlio. But those are the 4 things for you to get into the government contracting arena. You know, like I say, the 4th one is my favorite because I've utilized that so much before. A lot of contracting officers can, sorry, a call came through. That's one way that we can spread the love, and get people involved, and sometimes ensure that the work is being done to standard, the work is being done well, that the subcontractors are going to be paid, and that a lot of people are getting work, and things like that. We want you guys as contracting officers, they want you guys to make a profit. You're a for-profit business, you know, but you have to be willing to put in that legwork, make those rapports, make those relationships, because that's what it's really all about. I know a lot of society has gotten away from it. I never got away from that. Networking and making relationships is how I've been so successful, no matter what setbacks I've encountered throughout my life. And I'm an advocate for that, and I'm a believer in that, because I've seen it work. I've seen it happen. And it helps contractors along the way. So just to recap, the top 4 ways for an entity, specifically right now in the state of Georgia, but state by state, the stuff varies, but it's pretty much the same. You have the best way for a government agency to get their solicitations out, and for you as a contractor to kind of break into that world, is the RFQ, which is the request for quote. That means the state entity already has an idea, or government entity has an idea of the specifications and the solution they want to implement, but you need to be the lowest responsible and responsive bidder, all right, to win that award. The second one is the RFP, which is the request for proposal. That means that the entity, they have an end result they want to reach. They're not really sure how to get to it. You, as the expert contractor, have to propose a solution with the specifications, and they will review this. A lot of factors go into this. Financials. Can you facilitate the contract if awarded? Are you able to implement the solution? Do you have the team behind you and the expertise? So they're going to look at technical factors also. Where are you getting your team? Is it internal? Is it external? Do you need to have subcontractors come to create this team? Are you doing a JV, a joint venture? Things of that nature. The third way is the RFQC, which is request for qualified contractors. This is a pre-qualification list. No award will come out of this solicitation, okay? No award will come out of the solicitation for the RFQC, request for qualified contractors. All that is a short list, so that if the entity, and they have this thing called staff, subject to the availability of funding, all right? Staff, subject to the availability of funding. So sometimes for the RFQCs, that's what will come into play. So if the entity deems that they do have the funds to move forward, and they've selected a list of contractors they would like to invite to, then in turn submit for that solicitation. If the funding is available, they will invite however many contractors they selected off of the RFQC to submit competitively. All right. The fourth and final one, which is my favorite, and it probably will be all you guys' favorites once you really understand how it works. And then every entity, government, private, they have a short list. All right. And it does not have to be competitively bid. There is no requirement at the state level unless a private company decides to implement this, but there is no competitively bidding requirement for that. For the state of Georgia, it is $25,000 and under. So if a project manager or a contracting officer deems that a project or a service that they are trying to procure is under $25,000, they can call you up and say, hey, can you do this for under $25,000? Oh, well, yes, I can. I can actually do it for $22,000. How about that? All right. So that's how that's going to kind of go. But you need to actually implement this. You need to actually facilitate this, and you need to actually be able to do this. Don't take a project on that you know you cannot facilitate, you cannot finance, and that you cannot do. That is the worst. You will get blackballed in the industry. Trust me. All right? And it's a lot of other stuff coming for you if you cannot facilitate that. Because, at the end of the day, so purchase order will be issued. It just won't be a contract. So you got to think about that. But that is called an open market purchase. That is the fourth way an entity, a government entity especially, can solicit and procure goods and services from you as a contractor or vendor. All right. So that is, like I said, it's going to be quick and dirty. I wanted to get the information out. I don't sit here and try to amp y'all up and sell y'all nothing or blow smoke up your buttholes. I don't need to do that. All right. Plenty of people contact me daily. They know I know what I'm talking about. People that actually know me know that I done this. Like I said, I've been on both sides of the fences. I've been a senior contracting official for the Department of Defense Construction and Facilities Management Office in Georgia. And I have been a minority certified contractor for state and city agencies and county agencies. And I have built companies up for, making sure they are doing what they want to do. They're realizing their full potential. And so like I said, I've been a government contractor, and now I'm teaching this. I'm spreading the love. I'm telling everybody about it. I'm walking you through the process. I'm actually doing these things for you. Okay. I'm actually showing you as a contractor how to get business credit. If you are in a construction contract, if you are driving a truck, you're going to need some business credit. You do not need that stuff on your personal credit, because all that stuff don't work out like that, especially in construction. Construction can have some down seasons. There are laws that come into effect that can affect how you can operate your construction company. Case in point, the general contractors requirement in the state of Georgia put a lot of black owned companies out of business. I saw it with my own eyes, and it was nothing I could do. It was nothing nobody could do. They did not have $250,000 net worth. They just didn't have it. And they for sure don't have a CPA to do a compilation or a review for them. That's expensive, So the laws have since changed now, of course, but those companies are not back in existence. So you see what I'm saying? That's how that stuff affects it. So if they had business credit, they could still, operate. They could have had $250,000 net worth. It could have been built a long time ago. Another thing, if you are, they can get equipment on this. If they can show a contract, materials will be extended to them to facilitate the project and the contract. Equipment from Hertz Rental Equipment, United Rentals, they operate on net 30, net 60. All day. Sunbelt all day. I have helped contractors get this and obtain this. They have a contract. All you have to do is list them on the contract. It's pretty much how it's gonna work. All right. Also, if you drive trucks, you need fleet cards. All right. Some of them are starting. Some of these guys are starting out. They don't have money to put all that diesel in them trucks or fuel those vehicles. Or if you got fleet vehicles, that's expensive, and you come out of pocket. You better figure it out, because let me tell you, these major companies, they operating on credit while you operating on debit. That's coming out your pocket, bruh. And sis, that's what's happening. So you need to understand how the economy works. You need to understand that you don't have to use your money. Use other people's money. It's for that. That's why they created this. That's why net terms are in existence, specifically for stuff like this, for business to thrive, for you to be able to float that and make payroll if you have to, or pay whatever you need to pay. So I got a little bit off on a little tangent, but it kind of all rolled in together, and I want you guys to understand how all this works. If there is a topic that you would like to hear more about, specifically for business or in the government or reading government contract and minority certification, hit me up on the Facebook webpage, which is Facebook fb.me. Just use the short one URL, fb.me /Right Array LLC. You can hit me up through Messenger on the page. Don't arbitrarily hit me up because I don't answer those. It's got to be related to business or something else like that, because I don't really have time to play games all day with, hey, how you doing? I get real bored easy, so you got to keep me engaged. So it's got to be about business, all right? Hey, Caesar, what's going on? So, yeah, I get real bored easy. I talk fast. If I talk too fast, hey, say, Ray, can you slow down? Because I talk fast to try to get information out. My mind goes like a million seconds, it just constantly runs. So like I said, if I talk too fast, slow me down. You don't understand something, ask me. I don't have no problem, because the worst thing is a question unanswered and you do something wrong, or you don't truly understand it and you approach a situation incorrectly. I don't want that for you, especially whether you do business with me or not. What else? I think that's it. I'm just gonna go ahead and end the video. You guys have a great day. Like I said, if there's something you want to hear me speak about, a topic, minority certification, government contract, and business credit, entity formations, hit me up. Let me know. Schedule a consultation. You can always do that. All the information is on my Facebook page. My website is rightarrayllc.com. You can schedule there. Fill out the business intake form, please, because that is how I expedite the 30-minute free consultations. I try not to run over, and so now I'm going to be doing hard stops at 30 minutes because I'm running over too much and I'm running into other people's consultations, and I don't like to do that. I like to be very efficient and I like to be fair. So please fill out the business intake form so that I may be expeditious in extending these free consultations and services. So have a great day. It is Thursday, and have fun, you guys.